Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Rising Star 2 with the band Everyone But Andy. It is Monday, February 27th of 2006, and we have some gigs coming up. And I started to notice we only have gigs on Fridays right now for the most part. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can fill in a couple of these real quick by doing some driving around in our town. And because I'm lazy, I'm going to go to whatever's closest. That's a theater. Can't do anything there. We don't schedule those. We'll have a manager do that for us. We'll go ahead and go up to Chris's shed, see what Chris has going on. And I'm not going to focus on battles, even though that tends to be my mantra. If they have one, hey, that's great. If they don't, I'm not going to sweat it. I just want to get some time in. We are going to have to start writing some new songs. And then the other thing I think we'll start doing is recording some of these, even though they're not great. Let's go ahead and put out an album and start selling it at our gigs. Howdy. Well, nothing this month because the month is over. Wow, they don't have anything. They have that battle we're going to be at. And that is it. Did I misjudge something here? I guess not.
You'll make it in show business.
That's really interesting, though. Literally nothing for us. We have no reputation here. We have a very low reputation here. So increasing the reputation, those dates that say no bands, they would start to be interested in us filling some of those in. So even though this is a low capacity venue for the most part, they're not really all that interested in us just yet. Dang it. Keep doing that. And that's okay. That's their prerogative, right? Tells me we probably will have some trouble scheduling something like this one. But let's give it a try, just right down the street. And that's because that's the next size up. That's a middle-sized venue. It should be somewhere between, usually they're between like 200 and 700 people, maybe 800. You'll get a feel for it as you're playing and just start to recognize the names for what they are. 700 here. We have a reputation of one, almost certain they're not going to offer us anything. Yeah, nothing. So this is probably a gig that somebody called us about because we have no reputation here at all. So we'll want to go to some shows here. I did it again. What have I been playing where I have to hit escape all the time? Coming around the corner here, back to Jerome's. We've been playing at Jerome's. So this is somewhere we should have some reputation and we should see them offer us a few things. We're not ready for a headliner gig yet, that's for sure. Reputation is only 7, not great. But you'll notice we have some options here that we could fill in. Let's go ahead and take an opener. $38. We don't have to travel for it. We're going to take it. It's 9 songs. Well, we don't necessarily have 9 songs yet, but we should by Saturday. I think we'll be okay there. So we're going to say yes. The one downside is Saturday is in a different month. The attitudes could change, and it could be songs that we could lose the ability to play some songs because they don't want to hear them. That's why you want to have some diversity in your song lyrics. We're going to go ahead and take it. We'll risk it. The worst thing that happens is you just have a bad gig. I don't think you really lose anything. Popularity might go down. I don't know that I've ever really seen that. So we scheduled one there. Let's see if there's anywhere else that might be interested in letting us play our tunes. The Slippery Wash. Not likely just because of what we're running into here. That's the theater. Why am I having so much trouble? Barbara's Watering Hole. Okay, we can change that. I don't think we looked at Barbara's yet. And you know what? While we're here, let's go ahead and hit Anthony's music. See if we have any new things that we can get. We're still pretty cash poor. Always like to look at strings. Writing music. It's a +1. Wow, that's a really good string for $6 extra. +5 playing. We're going to grab a ton of these. +5 playing is about the max. We can use those for the rest of our lives. So he's going to buy a lot of these. We're going to buy 20. That is a little unusual. I haven't been seeing really awesome strings like that in a while. For Topher, it's the drumsticks are the big one. Well, they're the one that you go through the fastest. No new advantages there except stage presence. We'll grab a couple of those. And also drum heads. He goes through those pretty quickly. Cymbals, much slower, but they're a thing. And eventually we want to get to where we're paying thousands for cymbals. Like, we can't even afford these right now, right? But they're a +9 playing. That's fantastic. +4 stage presence. Again, fantastic. We will eventually be able to buy those without even blinking an eye, but that's not today. And then finally, guitar strings for Angel. Writing music, +1. Not the worst thing, but nothing outstanding. And she does seem to be, well, she's going through some strings. She's got these Black Beauties, which are 4-2-3s. Do we have Black Beauties over here? The extra DRBK. My understanding is these are real string ideas. I think the names are changed a little, although we have Ernie Ball. I mean, that's a real place. I don't know. I don't play guitar myself. I have my son buy me my strings. He knows which ones sound good. All right, let's go and just find something just so she doesn't run out. +4 playing is good. This is probably the one close to the ones she already had. Where is that? It is the BK9. Oh, I was over here. I can't buy them because they're over there. So that would help her a little bit. We'll buy a couple of those just for the time being. Well, we did spend a little bit of money and we have some other things we want to do. So let's go do those things. Now we need 9 songs by the end of the week. I want it to maybe start producing some songs, but with that limitation, we want to make sure we have songs to play where we're not going to get booed off the stage. I like to do that by practicing all my songs up to 100%. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 songs right now. We have 1 that's blue. We still clearly don't need a bunch of blue songs. We have a second one up here that we're still working on. I think we'll skip that one for now. We'll just practice these 2, and I think by the end of the week we should be able to play them as well. Let's go for it. Now, I did skip doing any merges of ideas. Yeah, that's on me. It's laziness, you know. That would just be a matter of doing this. We also didn't do a job. We didn't mow a lawn, anything like that. So there's a few things we could have done a little better that turn. If you try to squeeze every ounce out of every turn, I think it would burn you out very, very quickly. Sometimes you just need to get to the weekend so you can play your gigs. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now. I want to be maximizing that, not worrying quite so much about the minutia. These tech songs could expire on us as of tomorrow. So let's take a look at that real quick. Depression, Hometown Pride, Technology. Let's see what ends up going down and what gets promoted, if anything. But for now, I do want to minimize the number of those songs I write. It's okay to have the ideas. You can always merge them with something else, just like this. Now that's a spontaneity one. It's neither red nor green. Yeah, we haven't done a lot of the song lyrics. Let's go ahead and do that. We're starting to kind of run a little wild with these. And I'm just matching to match. No rhyme or reason. Finding numbers. I'm not trying to focus on anything specific right now. Oh, I could have done some 6s there though. Did I see that right? Maybe I didn't. There we can do some 6s and that'll max us out. He's got a 10. That's great. We're out of points. We're going to go practice. We did see there are shows tonight, but they're at the theaters. We don't need reputation with the theaters. A manager will hire those for us. We could stand to be a little more involved in the low-end music scene in St. Louis right now. So let's just go ahead and practice. We won't worry about going to a show today. And there we go. That one right up there. Looking good. 2 more days. Let's do that one more time and we'll start to learn Closer as well. I do want to get out here and merge some more of these lyrics just because we do have so many that are spinny right now. I'm curious if other people have trouble seeing the spin when there isn't quite as much of it. I really struggle. If there's just two of them spinning on one of these screens, I'd often blow right by it, never see it. I don't know if that's my old eyes or if that's part of the challenge, and he was smart enough to do that. I wish there was a view where you could be like, just see the ones that have matches you can make. That'd be a great view to have. Doesn't have it. That's okay. Adds a little bit of challenge, I guess. And what I will say is it removes the need to be tactical about it, because I just want to get through it. I want to minimize the number of song ideas I have here to maximize qualities. If I were paying closer attention, I'd probably be very intentional about it. And I'm not paying attention because there's so many to see, right? So good and bad. Let's go ahead and practice. That we should have more than enough points to max that out now. There it is. And we have one day to our show. We have back-to-back shows. Let's go ahead and, develop more ideas. Again, trying to burn through these lyrics. Get them boiled down to their best qualities. That's always great when you can do like the same idea and bump it up several times. And it's even better when the idea gets double bumped. And all of a sudden you go from having a 1 to a 25 over just a couple of hits. That's the best. And if we have any 3s, that would be perfect. I'm not seeing any here. We'll go ahead and do some more of these 1s. Oh, we passed over, and look at that. We now have urgency. Hometown pride disappeared. In Missouri, technology and nature. Technology nationally is still negative, though, which is something to pay attention to. So probably want to avoid those. Missouri, we can play them for now. But urgency is a good thing now. All right, we've done what we can there. Let's go to practice. It's the last day before an event. We are going to practice everything. Select all. And we know we've been working on that one. We just finished that one. I don't think this one goes much higher. I think it maxed out at 92 initially. We probably added some play points, so it might go up to maybe 93, but I don't think it'll go much above that. And it did not. It did go up to 93, but everything is maxed out except for closer, or closer. I'm going to say closer because that's what I intended. Let's go do our gig. Just 4 blocks away. We could just walk, really, right? Could you imagine carrying a 200 watt amp 4 blocks through a city with your guitar on your back? All the cables you need. This van would probably be tightly packed, is my bet for a small band. 4 members. This would be probably packed to the gills. That's been my experience. So let's get in there and do our thing. Depression. We saw that one before. Not seeing a lot of bubbles. So we're not terribly popular here yet. And is that that is not the exit. I want to make sure I don't okay, exit is labeled pretty well. Stage door. I just didn't see it because I was aiming too low. So this one we still only need 6 songs. Order them by date created. We want to add this one and this one. So we're going to drop. Okay, I'm addressed to run. I have put a marker there and I can't remember what that marker meant. I lost my notes between sessions when I was recording the early ones. I cleaned my desk and whatever I wrote down to say this is what I meant by this, I've lost that. So we're going to go ahead and play that one. We're going to play it first. Looks like that might have been my intention is, hey, this is a pretty decent song. Go ahead and keep it and use it. We can add all sorts of tags there. Well, not all sorts. I think there's like 9 or 10. Let's get rid of I Hold Today, Joy Meals, and we'll add these two. So only 6 along. Yes, we do know that. I missed Joy Niels. There we go. We'll go like this. And we do want to start getting rid of songs that aren't good. Once we have 12 that we can play reliably and we have the right distribution, then we can start cutting the songs that we don't want. The other thing we can do to prevent that from happening is when you record them, you can no longer cut them. And so we will want to record the songs that we are seeing are doing a little bit better. And I think this is probably going to be the first one we record. Its quality isn't great. We definitely have better quality songs in the meantime. And I do, because it's a new month, I do want to make sure I'm not doing anything silly like Nature or Patience. So I'm clicking this, it will sort them. And then I go to the bottom and I check and it is not red. So nothing we have is red right now. And so we can play these and here we go. That sound means something. Yeah, you broke a drum head. Awesome. We have to skip a song. Well, we're going to skip this one. We've played it before, and they're not going to have any energy anyway. So, yeah, we are still really, really bad. I'm going to be honest with you. Usually by now, I'm getting this into the 80s and 90s. I'm not sure what I've done differently this time, other than I'm just getting bad RNGs on the songs I write or something. This is very unusual. Got some experience, though. I think we just have bad songs. I think that's really what it comes down to. Our songs aren't very likable. Bands aren't relating. Yeah, okay. So a lot of this is just relations with the bands will go up when they come and hear you. When you go and listen to them, that can happen as well. We got some inspiration for everybody. Happiness, this is always good. You want those to be pluses, not minuses. We have a pretty cohesive band. We don't have to worry about happiness a lot. Okay, yeah, so what we're seeing here is we don't have anything people love. We would really like to have things people love. And the other thing I'm seeing is out of the things we played, they didn't even enjoy this one all that much, so I'm not really sure why I have that tag in there. I can go back and look at the videos and see if I can figure it out. That might take more time than it's worth. I think if we're going to record one, we're going to record Her Tray Bends. All right, well, that's a little disappointing. I really thought a few more points might do it for us. It hasn't. Back to our primary residence. Got to practice more, got to write more songs. That's what that's telling us. Merge some of these ideas. Let's go ahead and look through the other colors. Okay, here we go. 15 there. Oh, I probably should have done that the other way. I've got a 1. We'll merge that with something eventually. Keep his 15. I want our difficulties to be in kind of middling now, even though we're still a little low. I feel like once we start earning some points here, it'll start to make a difference. That's a good one. And then we're down to we can only do a 1 at this point. Here we go. We'll do Topher. Right there. Okay. Well, we have another gig tomorrow. 9-song gig. We'd better practice. Everything's looking okay except for this one. So maybe we go ahead and write another song. We're going to write a song. The reason I want to do that is if you just practice the one song and you have more than 35 points that you're earning when you do your practice, you can only max at 35 points on a single song, so you're losing the rest of those points. If you have 2 songs, up to 70 points, because each one can get up to 35, then you start losing points. So when I only have 1 song, and I'm at this point in the game, I always write another song, so at least I'm learning something and not wasting those additional points. Angelina's Shoe Grimaces. That sounds like a fantastic band name. We'll go ahead and make it a song. Now I'm starting with a low difficulty here, so we're going to want to ramp that up a little bit. I'm only seeing 10s. We'll go ahead and use this one. We will add lyrics this time. Let's go kind of neutral-ish with Hometown Pride. We're already up to 40. Do we have a good melody? We have a 6 melody we can do. We don't have any. If we remove that, we can do a 10. And then let's see if we have different lyrics we can use. There's a 10 lyric. I think that overall balances out better. The song difficulty is middling, which is where I want it. Quality is 45, not the highest, but decent for us. We're going to finish writing that song. Triple Experience Day. Well, that is awesome because I think we're going to see what we can do to make a difference with that today. So let's start. And we have a gig today. Yes, we do. Start how we normally start these days. Destroying instruments. So far, no good. That's okay, though. And finally, okay. Well, we earned experience. That was the main point. That's why we worked on the busking instruments. We're not too worried about those. Let's come out here. We do have a park to busk in. Let's go ahead and do that. It'll earn us experience and a little bit of money. Probably could stand to mow a lawn here or two in the next few days as we work through this so that busking is an option. Okay. There we go. 600 points to everyone for that. I think it's time to go play our gig. And then I do have a plan tonight. I can't remember if this actually works. We'll see. We're going to play our gig. We don't have a choice there. We have to play the gig or take a really good hit.
You're going to do great.
I think so too.
You should think about recording some CDs.
Yeah, that's what that's our surprise for the end of the day, possibly. So this is not a battle. This is one we need 9 songs. We did know that. Just gonna criticize is probably a song we should just get rid of, honestly. Well, let's give this a try. We have not maxed out audience participation at all. This feels really hot to me. 7 fast songs, 2 mediums, but we're not getting the audience engaged at all. We haven't yet. So we'll go with this, see what happens. Hey, if we break it, we break it. Be in a good way. They're going to be charged up. I just don't think it'll happen. So far, so good. And a big plus is nobody's instrument is broken. That's always a good thing. All right. Well, it consistently went up the whole time, just very small amounts. Usually want to be seeing 6% per song at this point, minimally. And we're not seeing that at all. We have a few people probably that leveled. Lots of bands came out to see our show. Sold out. 100 onlookers, $12 made in shirt. The band made $50 today. Awesome. Set analysis. Her Trey Bends and They Tickled Arthur are enjoyed songs. No songs are loved. We want songs to be loved at this point, and they're not. So, as you can see, we did have a 7-point bump here, a 9-point bump here, which tells me the first song we record is going to be They Tickle Arthur. And let's get out of here. Now, I'm not 100% sure we can do this. My thought was, hey, let's start recording. But you may not be able to after you play a gig. Yeah, everything's closed. So we're not going to be able to do that today. We'll do it tomorrow. And we will go ahead and do that in this episode. I wanted to kind of get to a point where something fun was happening, and I think that'll be fun. And let's do, 3 playing here, 2 stage presence. Yeah, that's what we'll do. That all looks good to me. Come in here. Merge up some songs. I'm hoping, well, let's see how close we are. He's kind of close. We might be able to get him maxed out to bump a level today. Just through developing ideas since it's tripled. $39, 39 points there. What I wanted to see is if different levels affect. Yeah, so the quality of the pieces drastically affects his points as well. So we want to use bigger pieces where we can right now. Go with Hometown Pride. Production skill boosted it an extra level. That's good. So instead of going from 10 to 15, it went from 10 to 20. We're down to where we can only do 3s. There's one, and now we can only do 1s. This should be 39 points for him. Yeah. How close did we get? He's at 99%. Well, so practicing instead of writing a song, if we practice, well, if we write a song and it includes him, that would be perfect. Let's go ahead and just practice these 2 songs, though, and that will certainly put him over the top. I panicked there for a second. I thought it would do that before it did the save, but nonetheless, here we are. The reason I wanted him to get bumped is we're going to start producing our first album, and we want to use him so it's cheaper. I want to max him out as much as I can on production. That will help with how much money we spend to record songs. So we don't have to do it all in one bite. There's a few pieces that have to happen when you make a song. You have to have a CD jewel case. We have to go to a printer to make. We have to record the songs. We have to assemble them. And then we have to buy the CDs that we're going to sell because it will be an independent album. It will only get distributed by us. It won't be done through a label. Later, when we have an agent, we will be able to get label contracts. And that works a little bit differently. There are some restrictions on that you may or may not like. You can't release multiple albums for labels in a year. You can only release one at a time and one per year. That gets weird. If you're releasing your own, you can do it all you want, but you're not going to sell 100,000 of them either. You're going to sell 7 at that concert and 7 at that gig. So let's go ahead and go outside, find the right place to do this. It probably isn't the worst idea to get our instruments repaired if we can, particularly the ones that we play with. And that would be, so that's for gigging. I believe when you record songs, it's your play skill. So we want the play instruments. So we'll repair that one, that one, that one. We do need to be careful because we have to spend money to record the song too. I think that'll at least get us started. Most of the rest of these don't look too bad. Okay, this one does. This busking instrument is in kind of bad shape. We'll bump those as well. Down to $700. Maybe I spent a little bit too much there. So one alternative to my immediate plan, instead of finding a CD place immediately, let's go mow a lawn. That'll earn us a couple $100 that we can spend on making a CD. And it looks like that's where all the studios are. There's 4 on that block. So we're right there. And we just basically want to find, honestly, this time we want to find the cheapest one we can. Who's going to charge us the least per hour to make songs? That's where we'll want to start. We will find the sweet spot based on our producer's ability and cost to where we can maximize things in the fewest number of hours. That's just not today. So the first song we want to do is They Tickle Arthur. To record a song, you literally just pick it from here and it takes you to this interface. So this place is $126 an hour. I should have looked at that first. We will be paying $126 an hour. We will be using our own producer. We can change to other producers, and here's their skill levels, but they charge us on top of what the studio itself charges. So 2 of these guys are better than Topher. Topher is our skill here at 61. We could hire somebody at 74. We could hire somebody at 90, but they cost for their skill. Real quick, we saw, but let's look at that song one more time. To get it to 100%, well, spending all day recording, we still wouldn't get it to 100%. We'd get it to 77. If we were to change the producer to the max skill guy, we could get it up 12 more points. We're spending a lot more money. We can't afford this, obviously. This would cost us $6,000. We have $900. We wouldn't be able to do that. For $900, we can get it to 16%. If we go back to Topher, we should be able to spend a little more than that, time-wise. We could get it to 29%. So that's what we're looking at. Let's see if we can find a different studio that charges a little less. You will have discount studios. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to name the studio when I find it. This one's $212. That is more, not less. $23 an hour. This sounds like it's our speed. So let's take a look. We could record all day for $529. We'll still have some money back, but our maximum we're going to be able to get it to is 37%. Okay, that's one option. If we wanted to hire a slightly better producer, we run out of money at 15%. So that's not a plus for us. 15% with Topher only costs us $184. We might as well use him and max it out if we really want to do this. This is a pretty low quality song. At 41, although most of our songs that are the best of our songs are in the 40s right now. I think we might have one or two in the 50s. So there is that. Our ability to play the song is 93, and that is only because the quality of the song is high enough we're not that good at playing it yet. So those are a couple of factors to consider. Let's look at another song. That was They Tickle Arthur at 41. Let's look at Criticize. We could get it up to 40, and that's in part because of its quality. It's a very low quality song. 40 tends to be a minimum required to put something on an album when you're with a label. So that is something to consider. Since we're not going with a label, we don't really need to worry about that. You can re-record songs. You can also add songs that you've previously recorded to more than one album. Just a couple of other things to consider. I think for what we want to do today, this is going to be just fine. We're going to max that out. We're going to spend all day effectively recording this song. So it is Sunday. It will become Monday once I click record here. And we will be almost out of money. Just a couple of things to pay attention to there. Lots of moving pieces, but we're going to hit record. And we will see experience. Everybody got 500 experience except for Topher, who got 1,000. The quality of the song, all sorts of factors play into how much experience happens there. 500 is a fairly round number. I'm used to seeing numbers like 2,973 experience points. So when you're doing a lot better songs and to a higher quality, that's what happens. So what we see now is They Tickle Arthur. Its best recording is 37%. And we know it's recorded because it has a value here. We can no longer eliminate this song if we go to song list. This song has been recorded, so ideas cannot be salvaged. Click more for more information. It basically says the same thing. This song is now locked into our library permanently. We can archive it and it will go away from the song list. It just sits in the archived list. We can bounce between them. But that's what will happen. Now, as we record it and put it on actual CDs, we will see which CDs it's listed on. And it will give us listings there of that sort of information. We have a few options. The game doesn't really distinguish this, but if you want to assemble a CD, create it, we don't have to have a cover, I guess. We do have to give it a title. And then you click on the songs to put them on, and it puts it as the tracks on the CD. We can release a single. If we did this right now, it would have no jewel case. I guess we don't have to have one, I guess. We could just release it just like this. Maybe that's not the worst idea. try that. The other thing you can do, if you add a second song, it will still go out as a single. It's like an A side and B side is what that seems to do. If you look at your band, it tells you how many you've released, how many singles, how many EPs, and how many full length. I don't know what the limit is for EP, but I know if you put 4 songs on, you're still considered an EP. I think full length is probably going to be 8 songs. And contracts, when you hire a manager, the contract will probably tell you full length CD, 10 songs or whatever it is. I think there is an upper limit. That limit might be 12. Pretty sure it is. Same as your maximum gig. And I think that's everything I can think of right now for the idea of doing those songs. Obviously, we need more money. That cost us almost $600. It's not very good quality. We only have $400 left. We can't even record another song to the same quality and recording quality. So we're going to want to make some money, but let's go ahead and, let's do this. The CD title is 1. Let's change that to, I don't know, well, we could still change the song name, by the way. I don't know that you can change CD titles. So if you're going to name it after the song, make sure you're never going to change the song name again. And in fact, I think maybe we should change that. That just is kind of a silly name. If we're going to release it, let's give it something reasonable, like They Tickle Elmo or something. Rename song. I don't know. It is a middle speed song, so it's kind of a relaxed. Taking the Day. We're going to call it Taking the Day. All right. Come back out here. That is our master song list. CD title, They Tickle Arthur. We're going to change that to Taking the Day. It is not going to have any kind of artwork, which would cost us $200. So I'm not even 100% sure we can do that. I think you can. I think I've seen this in other videos where they just use this graphic as opposed to a jewel case. So let's go with that and we'll release the CD. You've not chosen a cover. Are you sure you want to release this? So it's warning us we don't have cover design. I'm okay with no cover design. Releasing it. And there it is. Now we want to buy CDs. We're not going to sell them at $10. That's what we would sell a full price one for. So how many do we want? It cost us $2 each. We have $400. Let's buy 100 of them. That'll be $200 for us. Whoops. Minimum order is 100, so it was already at 100. That's what we will buy. 100 singles is what that is. And then we can click here to adjust how much we're going to sell them for. We will sell them for, I think we'll sell our singles for $6. Maybe we'll do like 6, 8, and 12 will be our prices. We could drop it to 4. So you do want to keep it above 2, right? Because that covers your expense then. We'll go with 5. We can discount them later if we choose. Okay, so we have 100 CDs at $5 each that we will sell them. We bought them at $2 each. That price stays consistent throughout the game. You don't have to worry about that. So you can do your point development at a studio as well. There's no benefit to it. It's just, it does allow you to do that. And since we're sitting here at this screen, let's just go ahead and do it. I wonder if you can hire another producer, if that maybe is part of the reason you can do that here. I don't know why it would make a difference though. Oh, there's a 3. Take that one. We'll make it the 9 though. Take those. Now we are limited to 3s and 1s. Here's a few 1s. Go ahead and just get those out of the way. Now we can only do 1s. And of course, that's where you get the 3 that's just lined up for you just right. Go away. There we go. Last one. Okay. Go ahead and leave the CD shop, and you'll notice it is now Monday. It went overnight. So that is the way you end a night. We're going to go home. And we are going to end this episode. We'll pick up here and we'll work through the rest of the week until we get to our next battle at Barbara's Watering Hole. I think we're going to want to write some new songs. We could release a few more CDs, but let's go ahead and see if we even sell any at gigs that are coming up. We'll see what that looks like. And I do want to thank you for your time. Hope you're enjoying Rising Star 2 with the band Everyone But Andy. There he is. And until next time, fair travels.